Mm-hmm. That's my bestie right there.
Yes.
Well.
But every morning I get up and I leave her and trust God with her mother.
Mm-hmm. I know that's
And
right.
she talk about how you feel, then you go, oh. And I know what those old me because she hurt me.
That's right.
And she ain't ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
She waiting on her son-in-law. She waiting on her son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't ready to leave. I get up every morning hurting. I look good, but I be hurting.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Please.
I'm just saying for the record, I look good. If
Yes,
right.
And you gotta know that you
You
know.
gotta know that you know that you know. You gotta know.
You gotta know that you know.
Go ahead on now.
I'm just saying what the word says. Psalm 139 says, "How beautifully and fearfully and wonderfully made."
Come on.
That's it.
So God looks good on me.
That's right.
Look good on you.
And me.
Show you right.
But there's a
That's
crushing.
the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
There's a crushing.
Yes. it is.
Gethsemane.
Mm-hmm.
There's a crushing in the making.
Yeah.
Gethsemane.
And we got to go through the crushing, sis.
Go through the process. My God.
And this crushing ain't like no crushing that we have ever experienced before.
My God.
Jesus.
You ain't never been here.
right.
Come on,
You
come
ain't
on.
never been here.
Never.
I don't
Come on.
care. You go look back on the stuff that you done went through. This
Come on.
crushing is like
different.
none other.
other.
You ain't never been here before. This is a new thing. This is new wine that God is pouring into you.
Come on.
This is a new crushing.
Come on.
And it's building you for this last day in time.
That's right. Come on, prophetess.
My
Come on.
God.
So what happened 5 years ago ain't gonna work now.
Just said that.
And that's why the crushing of this season has been longer than any other.
My
That's
God.
right.
Yes, it has.
Because when you come out, you coming out with a new eye. Help me, Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
You coming out with a new anointing.
Well,
You coming out with new revelation. You ain't seen this before. God gonna start downloading some stuff that has never been spoken before. It's for the making.
just said that.
And everybody can't go with you. And this word ain't for everybody.
It sure enough
Oh, help
ain't.
me, Holy Ghost.
It sure enough ain't.
It ain't for everybody.
It sure enough ain't.
Because some folk are all right where they at.
That's right.
Meaning they don't want to go no further than where they at. Because where they at, they hurting so bad. Help me, Holy Ghost. That they want this to just to be over. And we can just leave it right here, God, and don't go no further. But this crushing is taking us past where
that.
we are right now.
Decided through. No shot.
And you want to live a remnant for the seed that you will not yet see. And I told God with my crazy self that I want that.
I know
Can
that's
you
right.
imagine
Can you imagine?
what the world is wrong with me? Because the truth be told, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurting and
Come
I'm
on.
tired.
Come on.
I'm past throwing in the towel. I'm past wanting to throw in the towel. I'm like, God, just go ahead, take me home. Let's wrap this up, call it a day. Mommy will be all right. Everybody else will be all right. Y'all have a nice service for me and let me go home and be with the Father. God said, not so.
Not so. Been there a few days, a few times. Come
So
on.
I want this.
Come on. Come on.
So it's going to get worse.
Yep. Come on. Catch that. Catch that. Catch that.
It's going to get worse before the new comes.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing becomes what you gonna do.
What you gonna
What
do?
you gonna
What you gonna do?
And I know one thing, no man, no relative, no child, nobody is going to upset
I know that's right.
the course of what God has planted in me.
I know that's right.
So that they can feel good in their own
I'm
flesh.
not gonna do it.
I'm not doing it.
Not doing
So that's the answer.
it. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
I put them out.
She said all that just to say.
See, that's why
But when I say put them out, I'm not even talking. I'm
about.
talking about that spirit. I put it out.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, the reason why I asked, the question is because I didn't have to make the decision to do that when I was going through with mine. They knew how I was, and they left themselves at a very young age. My oldest left at 15, the next one left right after he did, the youngest he left because they couldn't live with me because of who I am in Christ. You know, so my spirit did wonder and whined and cried because I was very concerned at the age they left. But I thank God because, like you said, God did take care of them. You know, He watched over them, and I really do appreciate it because the oldest one I was most worried about, but that's the one that stayed more into prison than any of them. What he was doing, but I thank God because He brought him out. He's doing good. He owns a store now.
Amen.
And
God
his
is good.
life with his kids.
Amen.
And who
God
God
brought
blessed him with.
God bless.
Amen.
And I thank God for that. But they did, that spirit always had, when they always had set the scripture about that for me and my house, that we'll serve the Lord.
That's right.
So the question was, with your children,
Yeah.
if they not serving them,
What do you
you're
do?
supposed to put them out.
Yeah. Well, it's and I think
A lot of people use that. That was good.
every excellent woman of God,
That was
excellent,
very good.
and I think it's
Yes, God.
something she said, which is the key, real thing. The authority of the house sets the order of the house. So if you are that authority in that house, you are the one to set the order of the house. So now, you might not do what she did. The Lord might not tell you to do what you did. But what you just said was because of your stance and because of who you are. You didn't even have to do that. They left on their own because they saw that what we doing and how mommy is, it just ain't working. It ain't lining up. But what God did for her, He still did the same thing for you. He covered them. See, one thing, the old saying used to go like this. He take care of fools and babies. He take care of them both. So at the reality is, He took care of them, took care of yours. And at the end of the day, see, one thing we have to always understand, and that's why I love what you said, woman of God. At the end of the day, He's still sovereign. He's still on the throne. And sometimes we don't understand the process of our making. We don't understand the process of our purpose and our destiny and the assignments that's on our life. Sometimes you got the enemy trying to do things as a distraction, trying to get you off course. But sometimes those very same things that he's trying to use as a distraction to get you off course actually works together for your good. Because the Bible says all things work together for the good. To them that love God and to them who are the called according to His purpose. So to me, that's a twofold thing. If you're called according to His purpose, it does not matter what happens. It's going to work together for your good. And then if you're called according to His purpose, it's going to work together for your good twofold. So at the end of the day, we're not going to cross every T. We're not going to dot every I. We make mistakes. Sister, one of God, y'all don't know how many times I was in my car, and not recently, I'm talking about years ago, just with the issues of life, the weights and sin that so easily was settled. There was plenty of time I'm driving, I'm like, it's real easy to just go full speed into this tree, and then that's it. Or go off the bridge, and then that's it, because the weights of life, like she said, just beyond throwing in the towel, beyond that. So there was many days I got up on Saturday. I'm like, really? Do I gotta go in here? do I gotta do this? You know, I'm like, because it's rough and it's hard when you really have the heart for the Father and you really want to do everything that you know to do. But then when it does not line up the way you feel and the way you see and the way you think and what has been spoken and what you see in the word and all of that, you get easily frustrated. You get easily aggravated. And you like, is it even worth it? Come on, somebody. Is it even worth it?
That's true.
But at the end of the day, I can look at today of all days, show me that it's more than worth it. Oh, Shabbat. Mother, I thank you for coming in and saying what you said. You sparked it. Because one thing you have to understand is, we came in today. We were supposed to have been dealing with the lesson and going. But one thing you'll learn about me, I love the Father so much so that I try my best to follow his lead at all costs. It could have been real easy for me to, after Pastor went forth, okay, now let's just go into the lesson. But I saw where the Father was going. And I said, okay, well, we're just going to stay here for a little. Let's just see what the Father's up to. That's why I said, bless him, just worship him. And once I said that and I saw everybody went up even more, I said, okay, yeah, we're going to stay right here. So then that's when I heard Joshua 24, 14 and 15, when Pastor was going forth. So then I also heard from the Lord that whoever got whatever in their spirit to say it, and simple question asked, and look what came out of all of that.
Yes.
But we would miss all of that. Watch this. We would not even be here for any of this if we was trying to do it like most pastors tried to do. Because we would be coming in here, we would be trying to have a praise and worship, we would try to be praying, and I will be trying to get up, or whoever day it is, to get up to minister a word. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with the praise and worship leaders going forth. There's nothing wrong with somebody praying. There's nothing wrong with whoever's going to get up to minister the word. But it's far better to follow what the Father is saying for your house. And for this house, he has us right now, Knights of the Round Table, in the Justice League. Because remember, and watch this. That's why, if anybody that got their copy, what does it say? It says the Justice League restructuring and realignment. He said that a few Saturdays ago. Because he's restructuring some things and realigning some things. And the only way that can happen is we follow the Father's lead. Because once we follow the Father's lead, that's when something like this can happen. And that don't mean we ain't doing this. Guess what? We still in this. Because now there's some things that he poured into our container that now needs to be poured out. Because last week we really talked about the container and the process of the container. Come on, somebody. Because even anybody watch those shows when they doing glass? When they making glass? Do you ever watch it? They put it in the fire, got that stick. And they got and they blowing it and all of that. Look what it has to go through. It's in order for it to be glass. Just in order to be formed. All of this beautiful gold. Do you know what the process it had to go through? It has to be heated to a degree where the impurities and the moss and all of that comes and rises to the top. Just to get that out of it in order for it to be pure gold. We talked about the Garden of Gethsemane on Wednesday night, which means oil press, and it took place on the Mount of Olives that he had to get crushed and bruised just to fulfill his purpose and destiny. See, we want all that he has for us, but what are we willing to go through to get it? We don't want to be like those that was part of the 4,000 that got fed. They're now following him for the fishes and the loaves. They're following him for the favor and the blessings. And do not understand that this thing costs. Like the woman of God said. It don't. This is salvation, right?
Sorry, God.
Sorry. Just your sister. Just make sure everything is okay.
Yeah, all right.
Salvation. This represents salvation. Simple.
Okay, come on.
If this is salvation and I'm offering this to you, all you have to do is what?
Take it.
Did it cost you anything? All it took for you to do is just to receive it. But it might cost me something as the one that's giving it to you. And it cost him everything. Oh, Shabbat. And he was willing to do it because he knew that we needed that help. He knew that even, watch this, oh my God. That doesn't mean that there was something wrong with everything he did in the old. There was nothing wrong with the foundation. The problem wasn't with the word. The problems wasn't with the law. The problem wasn't with what the prophets were saying and all those that was in there. The problem was with us. We had the problem of obeying it and keeping it. That's why there was many dispensations. So now he said, you know what? I got to provide something better for them. I got to get them back to the place that I had, that relationship like I had with Adam and Eve in the garden. Where we'll be naked and ashamed and exposed before him and not even concerned about it. Exposed, naked, relationship with the Father, not concerned about nothing else and nobody else. So he immediately began to work towards restoring us back to that, even right when they fell. That's why he had to kick them out and put a seraphim there. You can't go back in there and now get of the tree of life to live in that state forever. So because he loves us and he now gave us this, which was free. Now out of this salvation comes our relationship with him, comes everything now out of that, which means our purpose and our destiny, our assignment, the giftings, the callings that's on our life, our relationships, our husbands, our wife, our jobs, whatever God has for us, now it's birthed out of our relationship with him and our making, our breaking, our going through all of that. That's what causes us. Because watch this. This woman right here? Yeah, that woman right there. 24 years together, 21 years married. But year 3 to 5, you couldn't have told us that we would still be here at 21 years. Because when I tell you, we was praying and say, Lord, if you don't show up, I don't know how we gonna make it. We was fussing and arguing over every little thing. The slightest little thing we was blowing up out. And this one here, she was stubborn. She was determined. She tell you, come on, she was just.
I wasn't easy.
She wasn't, as they say, she wasn't easy. And I want to show you how bad, and thank God for deliverance. You see this water bottle right here? One day we was in the house, we was having words, and she walked past me, going to the front, and she just chucked the water bottle at me. But the problem was the tap wasn't really on. So the top flew one way, and I saw the water coming out of the water bottle, like everything was in slow motion. I saw the water coming, and I saw the bottle coming, and I'm saying to myself, no, this happened, just throw the water bottle.
He called me a half of y'all.
and it just went just like this. Water and everything. But thank God I wasn't the person that I used to be, because I could have just as easily got it up and threw it back at her, and Lord knows it would have been World War 25 up in there. But I just sat there shocked and watched her walk down the hall soaking wet with this water bottle. So we went through all of that. But look at us here now. Still together 21 years. Married 21 years and still together 24 years. Do you think that was easy? It had to cost. There was many a times where I had to be wrong, even when I wasn't.
Right.
There was many a time that I had to take down, and you talking about the children? Watch this. We just had a talk just the other day about our son that's still living under our roof. I said, now, and I remember the days when I was trying to get him to come on Tuesday night for Bible study. We was going, he had to be there. And the man, he was of age, he ain't working, he got to be there. I said, but because you didn't reinforce it, it didn't stick by it and didn't abide by it, he never came. I said, but I could have easily forced the hand and made it. I said, but then I would have still been the bad guy. That I'm being, you know what I'm saying? So all of I said, so, but because of that, now we see it's in them now. Come on, he's in them. But because of that lack of reinforcement and respecting the authority that was in the house, some of those things went down. So we just had this talk just the other day, and she literally just apologized to me the other day. And said, Bass, the Lord said to me such and so, and I have to apologize to you for doing some of the things that I did and saying some of the things that I've said that undermined you as the father and the man of this house. Because then, you know how we do. I don't know how many of y'all do it, but you know, one thing, and please, okay, thank God, I ain't the only man in here. Okay, watch this. I guess you said this was therapy today, right? Okay. So, sometimes I find that women feel that because they birthed the child and carried them for 9 months, that they cornered the market on what it takes to raise that child. And sometimes have a tendency to think that the man voice or what he has to say about it is invalid or doesn't measure up as much unless it lines up with what you think and what you feel.
What it is? Excuse me, it's women are punks. That's what it is.
Say that again.
She said we punks.
Let me understand that, mother.
I'm talking me too.
No, let me understand what you're saying. What you mean by that? Explain what you mean by
Because
that.
we are weak for our kids. That's what I mean. The women.
What you mean?
Especially boys.
They'll let them get away with
We
stuff.
let
They'll
them get
cover
away with
them and just want to let them do
They'll
what they want
whatever
to do
they
instead of
wanna do.
being
They
hard
stay
on them.
there, you know,
Men are hard.
and use
Seems
us.
like they ain't got any
Not
love.
so much that we're punks.
You know, and
It's just that
they
we just
they
Just
will
soft
use
and
us,
loving.
and they come and kiss us on our cheek. And that's what I mean. I mean, we are literally punks for us.
But how does that? But I want you to answer. How does that tie in with what Apostle is saying about how a woman sees a man as? What was the word that you used?
I use that we don't. Sometimes that we feel that because y'all carry them or that we don't, our word don't carry no weight or whatever. Because I understand what she's saying. Because she's saying
Because we let them get away with murder, and we'll let them stay with us until they get 70. And we get 105.
That's true.
I know what I'm saying.
Though.
We will let them stay right there with us.
She said it till they get
Yeah,
sick.
but you gotta have a job.
Yeah,
But you know
and
what,
I
though,
think
what-
about that because we was always taught that if you wasn't married, the man can't live with you.
that's right.
But even though I went out there and I kept having these kids, when I wound up with 5 kids, I was in the house with 5 kids. But I wouldn't let
Without
no
the man
man
figure. Is that what you're saying? Without the man
Yeah, without the
figure?
man figure.
Oh,
Right, I wouldn't let no man come and live with me
Okay.
if he didn't think I was good enough for him to marry. But then not having that father figure
Made it
for
different.
my kids, because I never accept when people say I'm the mother and the father. I'm not the mother and father because I don't know what it is to be a father. I only know what it is to be a mother. And sometimes I regret that, that I didn't get married, but it wasn't my choice. It was that they didn't want to marry me. Because I didn't have that father figure, my kids turned out terrible.
I understand.
But
You know,
you wasn't a good mom.
You did the best that you
I raised
knew.
them up in the church.
That's right.
I raised them up in the church, but yet they turned the way that they turned out. And sometimes with them because I'm seeing them changing.
Come on.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
thanking God for the change. But that part of my life right there is like I still hold on to because I feel that if I had that man in the house, maybe they wouldn't turn the way they turned. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I understand. Come on. Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
See, I understand what you're saying, but okay, I'm married and my wife had kids. So she wanted me to be the father figure to those kids. But the thing that I had a problem with was if you want me to be a father figure to those kids, you cannot cut my legs from under me.
Come on.
You cannot tell them to do something that I told them not to do.
Come on.
At the end of the day, I was raised in the street. I know every bits and pieces of the pavement. I could cut up crack, coke, anything. I can tell you that a black man is targeted. If I'm trying to tell you that I'm trying to help you, I'm not trying to go against what you're saying.
That's right.
Then let me help you raise them, because a mother is always going to be a mother. But at the end of the day, if you want your child to have that father figure, you have to let the stepfather or whoever want to take that position do it. Because if you don't, they're going to run wild. Once she started cutting my legs from under me, and till I got to a point to where I said, you want to know what? I'm going to take myself out of the equation, but because all we doing is bickering and fighting, and you want to yell at me.
I like what he's saying because, I guess we just flowing. When me and Veronica met, Jasmine was 6 years old. So once we got in the relationship, we married. I'm holding down. I'm the man of the house. Might not be my actual daughter, but that's my daughter. So I'm providing, buying clothes, doing whatever. So now I'm also the disciplinarian as well. Now, I would never put my hands on her because that's not my child. But if she messed up in school, then that means no TV. No, you're on punishment. You can't go get that, can't do this, no store, no going outside. And I started running into a little resistance when it came to that because she was acting up. And, I got a couple of times, you ain't my father. You know how the kids, they especially when you blend it, they're going to give you that. So, but then the problem was like my brother here saying, she kind of started reinforcing that a little bit. So I had to pull rank. I said, we're going to have to have a meeting. We're going to have to have a meeting. I said, okay, if I can provide and pay rent and clothes and all of this stuff, but I can't partake in the little disciplinarian action, then when you want something from the store, don't come and ask me.
That's right.
When you need some sneakers or some clothes, don't come and ask me. Then we have that. If you want this and that, then don't come, because that ain't going to work. I can't be doing all of this, but I'm not entitled to do that also. And after we had that meeting, it kind of changed and it got better. Now today, Jasmine is what, 31. That's my nugget. And I call her nugget because she loved chicken nuggets when she was a child. But that's my nugget. That's my sweetie. There's nothing I won't do for her, nothing she won't do for me. And I have 5 children, and she's the 5th. I got 2 girls and 3 boys. That's right. Come on, and her and my son that just came in and surprised us over the weekend, came in from Hawaii and rolled up on me, played himself real good. You know what I'm saying? And we had to check him because he had came and stayed in the house, and he was looking at like that ain't his mother, and he was trying to kind of say certain things and doing things and not listening to her. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's right. That ain't gonna work. And after we checked that, he was good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you say.
Vice versa, like Jasmine will go to him for things, and Jamil will come to me for things because we was in the same house. So it's just like, I'm not going to my dad, and I'm not going to my mom. So it's just reversed. So, and that's the way it was. And to this day, everything is good. We
flow, we flow.
They don't look at each other as step brother and sister. That's my sister, and that's my brother. And that's how they were raised. So to God be the glory. But sometimes as women we do cripple each other because we think we mom, and when you, for me, I was single for a minute before I got with James. So I was just a mom, and her dad was doing what he did. So I was more or less, okay, I'm going to take
independent.
I was so independent, and that I said to him this week when he was saying, the Lord dealt with me And I had to apologize to my husband. And it doesn't matter how long ago it was, long as you apologize when you see your error. God showed me some things that I did, and sometimes we can damage their ego as a woman because we so independent and we so strong. I'm strong. You know what I told him? I said I was hard. That's the word. I couldn't bring it, sis, no other way, that I was hard. And it affected our marriage in a sense with some things that the Lord had to let me see. And I had to apologize. I had to humble myself and apologize to him. And I saw that thing. It's like God play it back for you to see your error and that you got to make this thing right. And I did that this week, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful that he received it in love. Because sometimes you can say sorry, and sometimes they don't receive it because it's been so much damage. Yeah. But he received it, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I was able to say sorry. He told me, he said, a lot of times you took my authority away. I apologize. And I saw that. You know, I saw that in certain areas. And when you find that you do things wrong, it's best to just correct it. It's best. Especially when you walk, God will show you yourself. Oh, yeah. He will show you yourself.
My Lord.
Whether you receive it or not, he'll show you yourself. And I know what I had to do concerning my husband to apologize to him.
And the truth is, like you saying, that God will show you.
Anyhow.
You see, you know, this is what I'm learning. You know, certain things we expected God to come down and and do all of this.
You just already know.
And you
already
common sense.
know you better than you know you. Besides the one who created you, but you know you. So you know if you got a flip mouth, you know if you hold grudges, you know that if you done got into a misunderstanding with your girlfriend, you go to bed angry with that, and she live in another house. You already know about you. You know you're wrong. And see, right, you know your mess. And the thing becomes with me, and that's what I thank God with the learning and teaching that I'm getting, and even in my prophetic calling, and learning is to learn to know you. So if you know you, then you know what to go to the Father with to ask Him to help you get
delivered from.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
Cause we old as dirt, and we got so much stuff in us, married, single, or whatever. But I'm telling you something, mother. You understand what I say? I don't want to bring, you understand, unnecessary garbage into my marriage.
That's right.
That's why I take it to the Father now. And see, that's where we go wrong at. We so busy asking God for the spouse, and we ain't asking God for preparation for our own self.
That's right.
You understand? We need deliverance.
Come on.
Deliverance.
Come on.
You understand? And that's what I'm saying. Everything is so solo, even when we courting. Y'all don't know nothing about court. Yeah, we older than that. Yeah. So you know about court, because I don't date. I did that when I was in the world. When you date, you ain't got no commitment to nobody. You can see who you want to, when you want to see whoever you want to. When you courting, your eyes are single on somebody where y'all are both in agreement that we getting ready to go to say I do. That's what courtship means. That ain't dating. Dating is I see Tom, Jeffrey, Joe,
whoever.
Jamal. You understand?
Bonquita, Shaquita. Bonquita, Shaquita, Natasha.
But courting is different. And so in that being said, I'm learning a lot, mother. And then a lot of things that we don't do, which we should do, that's biblical, where we just fly solo. We get in this relationship, your mama don't know nothing about her. Right. Your friend don't know nothing about her. Your pastor don't know nothing about her. Everybody talking about, oh, mind my business. This ain't none of your business. This between me and him. And then you don't even know that you get ready to walk into a bed of hell. Because you understand, you don't even want to deal with wise counsel. You understand? Wise counsel is good. Get around some folks. Because if you got a good mother, a great mother, she'll tell you if that Negro don't even look right. He batted his eye. He ain't for you. Mama tell you he ain't for you. Mommy, what did you see? That Negro batted his eye wrong. I'm telling you, there's something going on. You understand? And they don't, and that's it, mother. We want to fly solo, and we don't want to hear this. But some of these folk, and I'm not talking about here, because I don't know nothing about it unless the Spirit of the Lord give me revelation, and believe it or not, I don't want it. But a lot of these marriages where we done said I do, and we talk about boo honey and all of that, ain't come from the Father no how, and that's why when you get home, you going through all the hell that you going through. Yeah, you're supposed to go through ups and downs. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
Every relationship has
it.
but there's a difference when God has united this thing. When we are the same mind.
That's right.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to sit. We want to talk about, oh, you understand? Oh, he looked good. Oh, he whispering all this stuff that you like to hear. And then he smelled good. And then he looked good. And he told the Bible and all that. No, Negro, you got to come a little better than that. Because I got to see past them pointy shoes and that suit that you got on and them Bible quotes that you quoting. You understand what I'm saying?
Because demons dress like that too.
Because the word of God says that he adorns himself like an angel of
light.
light. So that he can try to fool the very elect of God. You ain't coming in here. I see you.
That's right.
And we don't want to do that. Everything is solo.
That's right.
Talking
You
right.
gotta
Come
watch
on.
them that smell good, baby.
What?
hey, no, don't say that. I always smell good. I've always
I'm
done
just
that.
saying, you gotta open, you gotta
I know.
open up your
Yeah,
eyes. You got to open up your eyes and stop being so solo about a thing. You don't know nothing about him until y'all get ready. Well, I ain't even know prophetess was even seeing him. Where he come from? Yeah, I was with him for about 7 months. Yeah, I was with him for a year. We ain't even know. He ain't come to the church. He had another church fellowship in. I'm at another church. We don't know nothing about brother until I done bought all of these things, talking about marriage and wedding and all of this kind of carrying on. Well, we're more married to the wedding than we are to the marriage.
Nah. Come on.
You understand? We don't want to sit down where courtship is really important and sit down and discuss about children and discuss about blended families and discuss about discipline and discuss about finances and discuss about how we want to have this household running and discussing about those things that are important. And then when red flags come up, listen to the red flag.
Pay attention. Don't paint it a different color. It's red.
Listen to the red flag. Because if I'm not teachable and you ain't teachable, this thing ain't gonna work. If I'm teachable and you ain't teachable, this thing
still
ain't gonna work. How can two walk together unless they agree?
Come on.
I ain't getting married 2 and 3, 4, 5 times. I used to say, Lord, why are you waiting so? I said, Lord, why are you waiting so long?
Oh, Jesus.
You understand? When I was growing up, people done got married. They done been married since they was in their 20s and 30s. Here I am, 56. Why so long? He said, because when I do it for you, baby, it's till death do us part. That's why you need to stop looking at other people's windows and other people's marriages unless they designed by me and they can help you.
That's right.